Yes lads, how you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today, boys and girls, I'm going to bring you guys the Leicester versus Newcastle match preview. So then, boys and girls, after Leicester drew 1-1 to Southampton last time out in the Premier League, where the Foxes dropped some crucial points in the race for Champions League football, and after Newcastle suffered a 2-0 defeat to Arsenal at St James's Park last weekend, the two sides come together on Friday night at the King Power Stadium in another huge game at both ends in the Premier League table. So that being said, boys and girls, in today's video I'm going to bring you guys the Leicester versus Newcastle match preview. I'll go through the Newcastle side of things heading into the game, my thoughts on the game as a whole, and of course we'll go through my predictions of and also my score prediction for Friday's huge game where Leicester simply have to get all 3 points. But just before we get into discussing all of that, if you guys are going to enjoy today's video, let me know by dropping a big thumbs up. The season is really coming to close and this is the busiest end of the season, so if you guys want to see Leicester secure Champions League football, let me know by dropping a like on the boys, and let's get Champions League football instead of this next season. Also, subscribe if you haven't seen my face on YouTube before. We're now closing into 2,000 subscribers and we're actually very close to 1,800, so any help towards that will be actually appreciated. And as always, most importantly, let me know your thoughts and opinions heading into tomorrow's game in the comment section down below, boys and girls. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to stop waffling and let's jump straight into the Leicester versus Newcastle match preview. So then, getting straight into today's match preview, you guys know the drill. Of course, we're going to start off by talking a bit about the opposition side of things heading into Friday's game. Of course, this week our opponents are Newcastle United, and this week on the channel we've got the lads from Newcastle Fans TV to bring you guys everything about Newcastle heading into the game. Big thanks to them for coming on the channel today. Go and subscribe to the channel, the link will be in the description down below. But yeah, boys, take it away and let's see what Newcastle are like heading into Friday's big game.
Right, so thank you very much, Josh, for inviting us on your wonderful Leicester channel. We are Newcastle Fans TV, giving you a perspective going into Friday night's game against Leicester. First of all, Johnny, what do you make of Leicester so far this season? Brilliant.
Oh, they've been fantastic. They've been. It's, when you always see Leicester on the television, they're from a neutral. Obviously, we are being neutral for most of the season as Newcastle fans. They're great to watch, aren't they? They're really great to watch. You like to see your Vardys, your Tielemans, your Barnes, your Madison. You know. Yeah, Nacho of late. It's been brilliant to watch. It's something that we actually, I think Newcastle crave, don't they? When you look at recent years, but you always look at Leicester with envy because you're like, I wish it was us. But a fantastic season they've had on. Brendan Rodgers has been such an instrumental figure at Leicester the last couple of years, and they're flourishing at the minute, and it looks like they're going to be getting Champions League football.
Please do, by the way. Yeah, you talked about it because even off the field stuff, I mean, we've always got stuff happening up here. So much drama, but you look what Leicester doing off the field, that training ground. I mean, we've been dying to put money back into the training ground, and it was sad what happened to the owner when the helicopter went down a few years ago. But they've kept that going, that community, and it's wonderful to see a football club who's not a greedy six, but trying to compete in the Champions League and hope he's to get it, and putting money back into the club and the community, and it's something that we lack up here, isn't it?
Massively. We massively lack what Leicester are doing. I think a lot of neutral fans will say Leicester are the most well-run club in the country, if you take away some of the likes of Manchester City's, for example. But yeah, I think every club that's not in the top six would look at Leicester and go, we'd love to be where they are right now, and we're really envious. Like new training ground, as you've mentioned, fantastic young players coming through with a little bit of experience, like your Schmeichels and Vardys, and it's just taken really nicely at Leicester. I'm quite envious of them. I'm quite jealous of them, and I'd love to see Newcastle copy that if we're under new ownership. But yeah, Leicester doing great, and hopefully they do well after Friday night.
So Leicester fans, what do you expect for Newcastle this weekend on Friday night? We've been playing 5 at the back, haven't we, Johnny? Joe Willock couldn't play against Arsenal. He was a bit of a miss off the bench because he's been scoring the goals. Do we expect him to start? Yeah,
Joe Willock's got to start, and I think he'll replace Miguel Almiron, who is a bit out of form. ASM and Callum Wilson will start. If they start together as a 9 and a 10, I don't think they're going to create as much. I'd like to see Alan St. Max on the left-hand side, but we do have a little bit of talent going forward, and if Leicester aren't on it, and so the centre-half, Sionchu and Evans aren't on it, then maybe Newcastle can get a little bit of joy, because Callum Wilson has had a fantastic season for Newcastle, a poor team. He's managed to be the bright light this season. So, look, I don't see us winning this game. I don't even see us getting a point, but if anything's going to happen for Newcastle, it'll probably be either Callum Wilson or Alan St. Maximin.
Leicester fans are going to say, who don't really watch us at ASM, he's the one to watch, he's the one to stop. How can you stop the talent of ASM?
Double up on him, make it difficult. You've got Castagna, James Justin, I think, who's injured, but unfortunately, but yeah, you just got to double up on ASM. You just got to make it really, really impossible for him. But he's our only outlet. Just don't foul him. Let him run as much as he can, because we don't really have anybody that will go up with him. You know, Kyle Wilson will try, but if you're gonna stick maybe just 4 at the back, we'll have 5 at the back. You know, we're not going to have as many numbers as Leicester. So Alan St-Maximin is our outlet, but look at Arsenal. Arsenal aren't playing well. They kept ASM pretty quiet, but he was in the centre. I think you need to get the best out of ASM on the left-hand side. So hopefully he has a fantastic game for us. We'll talk about how good he is, but on a Leicester perspective, I hope he has a really quiet day.
Yeah, we're still Bruce out. Yes, it looks like we're nearly safe. We're still trying to get that extra 1 or 2 points just to be mathematically. I think it will happen soon. But as a fan in general, obviously not going to games is killing me. But you know, we haven't been able to voice our concern about Steve Bruce. It's still well known that he's sometimes a bit of a media darling, and people in the games love him and all that. And come the summer, the end of the season, we're very close. What happens in the summer?
I think I don't want Steve Bruce to be manager of Newcastle next season, but it looks like unless Newcastle got a takeover, which again is very much 50-50 depending on arbitration, I would still think he will be the manager next season, because I don't know whether that's going to be done before that. But if it was me, I would let Steve Bruce go, and I would bring in Steven Gerrard. I really would. I think Steven Gerrard could do wonders at Newcastle, given a little bit of money and given a little bit of time. I think, you know, we've been talking Rangers is a massive football club, but when you talk about the Scottish League is nothing compared to the Premier League, and I think he would flourish under new ownership at Newcastle, and just give him a little bit of time. But what he's done at Rangers, but just different scales in terms of the league. So that's what I'd like to see happen, but I think more realistically it is Steve Bruce in the dugout, regardless of what league, Premier League or Championship. It looks like he's going to just about keep us up. And
if it is Steve Bruce, do not renew his contracts. Do not renew, because he'll only have 12 months left, with a lot of players we need rid of, who are coming towards the end of the term. Some of them we need to renew, but that is our perspective going into Friday night. We want to win, of course.
Come on.
We didn't expect to, don't get me wrong, but if you want to pop over and see Newcastle Fans TV, we do about 6-7 hours of live coverage on a match day. I think that's the most that anyone does in the North East. But please pop over, see what we're all about. Thank you very much for Josh for inviting us on. How are the lads?
There we go, the boys and girls. That is it then for the Newcastle side of things heading into tomorrow's big game. A big thanks for the lads from Newcastle Fans TV for coming on the channel today. Like I said earlier on, go subscribe. Link will be in the description down below. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into discussing the kind of mighty Leicester City. I don't know after Friday's result, but yeah, let's talk about Leicester heading into the game. Right then, Newcastle United at home then on Friday night, and for me, this is simply must win. If we do not get 3 points in this game, we can say goodbye to the Champions League and we'll have another season of this bloody Europa League stuff. But yeah, realistically, it is a massive game on Friday night, and just looking at our fixtures, it's our only real winnable game left. To be honest, I mean, we can beat Spurs, United, Chelsea, but realistically, 3 points is a must in this game, and the pressure is really on for Leicester to claim all 3 points against the Newcastle side, who most recently have up their form, but of course, coming to this game after a 2-0 defeat to Arsenal last time out. Of course, the two sides have already met this season, and that resulted in a Leicester win away from home, a solid 2-1 victory for the Foxes, with Tielemans and Maddison and Andy Carroll being the goal scorers in the game. And anything like that on Friday night will be a massive result for Leicester. Simply, like I said, we have to get the 3 points in the race for Champions League football. Chelsea are catching us up, West Ham are catching us up, the pressure's on, and we simply have to claim all 3 points on Friday night as we welcome Newcastle to the King Power Stadium. Of course, last night for Leicester, we picked up a point against Southampton away from home. Overall, you would say it's a decent result, but just with Southampton having 10 men for a large period of the game, it was a very disappointing result, and overall hopefully we can bounce back from that result on Friday night and this week's Friday's game. I don't know why we have so many Friday games, but yeah, hopefully we can bounce back from that against Newcastle, because seriously, we need to bounce back, because if we don't claim 3 points in this game, Chelsea are probably going to overtake us, and West Ham are going to be sniffing very close as the season comes to a close. And overall, boys, like I keep saying, this game is simply huge, and it's going to have massive implications for the rest of the season and whether Leicester get Champions League or not. Based on that then, let's move on to discuss the game then in a bit more detail. So realistically, I can see Newcastle trying to sit back in the game, really soak all that pressure, just go to the usual low block. Always seems to happen against us. And Leicester, it's just a case of trying to break them down. And obviously against Southampton, we couldn't break them down. So if Newcastle play anything just like that, try and sit back and offer a big threat on the attack with the likes of Callum Wilson, Sir Maximan and Joe Willock, it's going to be a tough one and we could lose this game. So overall, it's going to be a case of Leicester trying to break down that Newcastle defence, and the midfield, Tillemans, Maddison need to be on form, because against Southampton, them two are quite poor in my opinion, especially Maddison. If them two aren't firing on all cylinders, we're going to lose, and that can't happen. So overall, it's just going to be another one of those games where we simply have to break them down. If we can get a goal inside the first 10-15 minutes or so, the game will be open. Newcastle will come out, space will be behind, and I think we can get a convincing result. But if it's still 0-0, 60 minutes into the game, Newcastle are going to grow in confidence that they could nick a goal on the counter, and then we're stuffed. So it's one of them once again, but it's just a case of Leicester trying to break down that Newcastle defence. And after Southampton last night, where we really struggled to break down their defence, even with 10 men, am I confident? I don't really know. It really could go within. It really depends which Leicester side does turn up on Friday night at the King Power Stadium. But overall, boys, I reckon we can just about claim all 3 points, which of course will be absolutely massive. So then moving on, let's jump straight into my predicted lineup for the game. So yeah, this is the side I think Brendan Rodgers will go to start on Friday night at the King Power Stadium against Newcastle. So as always, I think, we will stick with the 3-5-2 formation. I know it didn't really work, but we still got a point. And most recently, before Southampton, it was working pretty decently. So, yeah, as always in goal, we'll stick with Schmeichel. No reason to change. I thought, didn't have anything to do against Southampton. I know he conceded, but couldn't do too much about that. But, of course, in goal, Schmeichel has to be done, and no argument about that whatsoever. Right, and moving into the back 3/5, then heading into the game. So starts off then with the 3 centre-backs. Starts off with the central man, the key man in that back 3 is going to be goal-scoring Johnny Evans. This guy, of course, 2 goals in his last 3 games. Looking on good form. Defensively, most recently, Leicester have been pretty good. I know against Southampton we did concede, but it was a penalty, a handball. Couldn't really do anything about that. So yeah, Johnny Evans will be the first centre-back. Alongside him, we'll be going with Kago Soonchi. I think this guy most recently has been looking very good. He's good on the ball, and of course, Soonchi is going to provide that slight bit of width going forward. He can look to bring that ball forward, and especially if Newcastle are going to sit back, the likes of Soonchi and Fofana are going to be key on the ball. I mentioned him Wesley Fofana, of course, he'll be the final centre back in that as well. Obviously, he's been fantastic since he came in this back 3. Most recently, he has been looking very solid. And these guys, in my opinion, are going to have a lot of the ball in the game, especially if Newcastle do sit back. But yeah, boys, that is it for my back 3. Moving on to the 2 wing backs, then heading into the game. So starts off then with the right one, we'll be going with Timothy Castagne. For me, this guy's been fantastic most recently. Didn't really do too much against Southampton. Obviously scored against West Brom. Didn't score against West Brom. He scored against Paz. And got an assist against West Brom. And this guy's been looking on top form recently. So yeah, Castagne has to start, in my opinion. Good going forward defensively. He is solid as well. Left hand side, I know I keep saying Ricardo, he may start, but for me, I think we're going to stick with Thomas. I keep saying Ricardo starts, maybe the reverse psychology means Ricardo will start. So yeah, let's stick with Thomas, and hopefully Ricardo starts. But I think Thomas, he's done it right since he came in. Obviously, he hasn't played the full games. He's been replaced by lots of Albright in the games, but overall, he's a left-footed. He has balance, just that back 5, which is key. So yeah, Thomas will be the left wing back. He's developed a lot so far this season, but overall, if you can have a choice, it will be Ricardo. But I think Thomas will start. We could maybe see Ricardo come off the bench. But yeah, boys, that's in my back 5. Of course, centre backs, we just went through them. Evans, Soonchi and Fofana, wing backs Castagne and Thomas. Right, moving ahead, jumping straight into the midfield 3. Starts off then with the holding centre defensive midfielder. Of course, we're going with the best man in that position in world football, in the Premier League, is man like Wilfred and Diddy. I think, this guy, key man in there once again, is going to be on the ball quite a lot of Newcastle sit-backs. Yeah, Wilfred Diddy has to start, in my opinion. No debate around that. Moving ahead then, another one who's definitely going to start, Youri Tielemans. For me, I think this guy's probably been our key man so far this season. Scored in a reverse fixture against Newcastle at St James Park in January. This guy's been class so far this season. For me, didn't play too well against Southampton, but he played every game, so it's kind of expected. But hopefully, he can come into this game on top form, fresh legs, and look to make an impact, because Tielemans is key. And the same man ahead of him, James Maddison, he is key once again. I think against Southampton, he was looking to get a goal, just didn't come. The confidence isn't there right now for Maddison, but a goal against Newcastle will be perfect for him, and I think Maddison can do it. And of course, these 2 midfield are going to be key in Maddison and Tielemans, and they're going to be key in breaking down that Newcastle United defence. And finally, then moving into the front to the strike force of absolute dreams. It starts off then with Kelechi Iheanacho. Though he didn't get a goal, he provides. He got an assist against Newcastle for Johnny Evans. I know not against Newcastle, Southampton. I hope he gets an assist anyway. But of course, he did get the penalty away, which he's just too good. He just impacts the whole picture, doesn't he? But yeah, Iheanacho, obviously top form just recently. He has to start. No debate. So yeah, Iheanacho starts up front. Alongside him, of course, will be going with Vardy, who, you know, against Southampton had several chances to score, didn't really take them, which was a slight disappointment. But he's still getting into some good positions. Loves a goal against Newcastle as well. So fingers crossed, Vardy can get back to a scoring range once again, and hopefully back a goal against Newcastle on Friday night. But yeah, boys, that's it for my prediction. As always, we go Schmeichel in goal, centre backs, of course, Soonju, Evans, Fofana, wing backs, Castagna and Thomas, midfield 3, and Didi, Yuri, Matters, and then the front 2 of Iheanacho and Vardy. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. And finally then, moving straight on to my score prediction. As always, boys and girls, let me know your score predictions in the comment section down below for tomorrow's game. For me, I'm going to stick with a narrow 1-0 win to Leicester. I think we'll just about do it. It's going to be cagey, it's going to be nerve-wracking, but I think we'll hold on towards the end and get a narrow 1-0 victory. Goal scorer-wise, I think James Maddison is going to score a goal from midfield, and overall, as long as Leicester get the 3 points, I do not care, boys. But yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 tomorrow for Leicester. Fingers crossed, that can happen. So then, boys and girls, that is it then for today's video. Of course, in today's video, I bring you guys the Leicester versus Newcastle match preview. You guys have enjoyed it, let me know by dropping a like, subscribe as well to the channel if you guys have not already, and most importantly, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game heading into the... Just comment below your thoughts and score predictions. I cannot speak in today's video. But yeah, boys, that's it for today's video. I'm Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.